YouTube, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be going over the best graphics, interface and audio that you can have for console, as all these PC players have too many settings to play around with, and it is quite frankly unfair towards the console players. They have all these different settings they can play around with and too many things. And the only thing that we have is aim assist. But that's just a completely different story and a different subject that is very sensitive to PC players. So starting off with the graphics, some of these are new. So you obviously got camera movement. So you want least 50%. So this is, for example, when you get precision airstrike, or you've got cluster strike coming down on you, you're not going to have as much shake. So you want least 50%. World motion blur and weapon motion blur, you want disabled both of them. It just makes it a lot easier to see. Film grain, definitely you do not want any of this. This is it's like a sound. So you want this to be 0. You don't want any of this. Just leave it at 0. It makes it a lot clearer to see enemies and all these different sort of things around the map. That is obviously it's personal preference. Dismemberment and gore effects, you have it enabled. You're playing Warzone, so you best have it enabled, but once again it's personal preference. HDR brightness, personal preference, and obviously if you're playing on a TV or a monitor, it's completely different per TV or monitor. On-demand texture streaming, big, well, depends on your Wi-Fi and your console or your PC. Obviously high quality is going to make your game a lot slower, so you may lag a bit more just because it is going to take a lot more bandwidth than Wi-Fi power. So I just leave it on standard or sometimes disable it if it gets quite bad. But they are your graphic settings. Moving on to your interface. Subtitles, personal preference, I just have them disabled. It's one less thing on your screen. Colorblind type. Again, this is personal preference, but this is going to make it a bit more bright, a bit more vibrant. I'm not even going to pronounce that because that is a very confusing word to say, but it is the third one in. And then again, colorblind target, it's all personal preference, but you can have it as both interface or world. I just have it as world, so it makes everything a bit more vibrant. Tooltips disabled. Obviously if you're new to Warzone, probably have it enabled. It will help you out a lot, but I just have it disabled because I've been playing it since it came out. Minimap shape, this is a big no-no if you have it on round. As you can see on the screen, when it is square you can see a lot more of the map, so you're going to have a bit more an advantage than people who run it on circle. Who runs it on circle these days anyway? Minimap rotation you want on. Show compass, either, you're more than likely better to have it on just so you can have better communication with your teammates. Compass cardinal direction text, again personal preference. Letters or numbers, prefer letters. It's just a bit easier. West, southwest, northwest, blah blah blah. Kill feed duration, whatever you want, personal preference. Again, most of these are all personal preference. Going on to audio, it depends. If you don't have a headset, you don't really need to listen to this, but if you have a headset, depends what headset you have. I have an Astro A50s, so there are many settings you can play around with in the actual application of itself. But home theater is very good for Astros. If you do have Astros, master volume you want at 100. This is going to be all your gunfire, sort of all your different bits and bobs in Warzone which have sound. It's going to give the position away your enemy. Music volume 0. There's no point of having it on. It doesn't have a purpose. More of a distraction, to be honest. Dialogue volume you want 40 or 50, or 45. You don't want it too loud that all you're going to hear are the voices. You want it slightly lower, just so you can hear everything else around you. Effects volume you want 100. There's going to be footsteps and your armor plate sort of going into your satchel. Cinematics volume you want at 100. Juggernaut music disabled. Again, that doesn't do a single thing, and obviously you won't be able to hear anything else. Hit marker sound effects, any. I just have it as Modern Warfare. mono audio disabled, especially if you have a headset, because obviously mono audio is going to produce the same sound through both speakers. So we want that disabled so you can hear directional footsteps. Even if it is disabled, I still put this to 0 because you can move it up and down just to make sure. Again, the rest of this is pretty personal preference and it's your choice. With your microphone, voice chat, blah blah blah. War tracks is cool. So I just have it at 100, but you can turn it off while you're driving. And that is going to wrap up the video. And don't forget, guys, if you are new around here, subscribe, hit the like button, and turn on post notifications so you don't miss a single video I upload. And remember, at 100 subscribers, we're giving away a copy of Modern Warfare, which comes out in a few weeks' time. Well, a few months' time, I should say. So make sure to subscribe and interact with the videos. Give it a thumbs up and leave a comment down below. And I'll catch you on the next video, guys. Peace.